All right, we're still at PAX Unplugged 2022, and I'm in the exhibit hall with Graham Gentz. Hey, Graham, tell us what you do in the industry. You're a writer, you're a facilitator. What does that mean? What does that mean? Tell us.
I do many things. I love the tabletop space. I love what it can offer. I facilitate events. I've been an educator in the past, and part of that has allowed me to do game design, so I love things that are as experimental as possible, as interesting. I think intentionality is kind of key to this space. And so what I'm trying to do is build community and understand what people are doing so that I can help them and understand what I want to do a little better.
All right, does that actualize into a game that you can tell us about?
Yeah, I'm making games all the time, either with ninth level games, of which I do editing, I do design, I also help with events, so big cons like this. Usually we do big events on Friday night, I'm usually part of that. On Zine Quest, which is great, again, for community building and also helping me find other people. Zine Quest 4 was in August, and so I ran a game myself, did a Kickstarter for Under the Autumn Strangely, which is a pastoral horror RPG inspired by Over the Garden Wall in a land that never was.
All right, so tell us to break those down. Pastoral, horror, tell us a little bit more about it.
Yeah, sure. So I've used a couple different terms to talk about it: experimental storytelling, GM-less, rotating. I like decentralizing power in a lot of ways, and game design is a really great way to do that. If a hierarchy is there at all, it should be very thin between people facilitating the game and the players. So pastoral horror being the part that I've used, we're invoking Americana, I'm using anachronism, we're talking about rolling hills and fall colors and the kind of unease about being lost and not being from a place. That being tapped into the sort of wonderland feeling that players are going to be created when they play.
Awesome. So that was on Zine Quest, and when is that going to be in physical, or what's the release date expected, hoped for?
Yeah, so I just did a stream of it in spooky season, and so it'll come out physically, sent out to backers, but then have other copies, both PDF as well as the physical zine in October next year for spooky season.
Oh, spooky to spooky. I love it.
Right.
Okay, so have you gotten a chance to walk around the hall here and see anything that you want to give a shout out to?
Oh, yeah. I mean, because of my interest in kind of dwelling on the digital space and then kind of following through, I've been able to find people through Mastodon as people are trying to do that. So I've gone around to other booths. IPR is always there talking about stuff. The games that I've not seen before at IGDN is always really exciting because I feel I do as much as I can there. If you have a small booth and you've made a game that you're passionate about, that is of interest to me. That's the people I'm going to spend and talk time with.
Awesome. So what would be your, what's a autumn ritual that you have or would like to participate in?
Anything outdoors when it's getting a little bit cold, when you're going on a long walk, you're experiencing the colors. If anything is a little bit abandoned, there's a little bit of refuse. I like your red barns with the paint peeling off. I like a strange whisper on the wind that you can't quite explain. I like a silo in a big empty field. Take a nice walk, take in some deep breaths, go someplace you've never been before. Get a little lost.
All right, great advice from Graham. Graham, thank you so much for your time today. Tell everyone who's watching this where they can find you on the internet if they want to know more about you and your games.
I do a lot of work with ninth level games, so if you find any of their stuff, you can find them at ninthlevelgames.com. At Mastodon and most places of social media, I'm usually at thismaybegraham. Instagram is doing its best as a board game ambassador. Other than that, we can find each other around.
All right, thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of your con.
Thank you, Matt.